The Zephyrian delegation stood in pristine formation before the United Nations Assembly, their crystalline forms catching the light like living prisms. Ambassador Ketheral's voice resonated through the hall with the cold precision of calculated diplomacy. "Humans of Earth," the alien began, "we offer you the greatest gift in the galaxy, peace through unity with the Zephyrian Collective." Secretary General Maria Santos watched from her seat as holographic displays materialized above the assembly floor, showing sprawling alien cities and advanced technologies that dwarfed anything humanity had achieved. The images were beautiful, sterile, and utterly devoid of conflict. "Your species shows potential," Catherall continued, the pause loaded with condescension. "However, your warlike nature and chaotic individualism threaten galactic stability. We offer you a choice. Surrender your weapons, submit to collective oversight, and accept our guidance toward enlightenment. In return, we shall grant you technology, prosperity, and an end to all human suffering." General Harrison Clark leaned forward from the military advisory section. His weathered face betrayed no emotion, but Santos could see the tension in his jaw. They'd spent weeks analyzing the alien proposal, and the subtext was clear: comply or face annihilation. "And if we refuse?" Santos asked, though she already knew the answer. Ketheral's form flickered with what might have been amusement. "Then you join the 17 other species who chose poorly. Their civilizations exist now only in our historical archives." The assembly hall erupted in heated whispers and sharp intakes of breath. Santos raised her hand for silence, her mind racing through the impossible calculus of humanity's survival. Dr. Elena Vasquez, Earth's leading xenobiologist, stood from her position in the scientific delegation. "Ambassador, may I ask about these other species? How did they resist your overwhelming technological superiority?" "They did not," Ketherall replied simply. "None possessed what you humans call military thinking. They were peaceful, rational beings who understood the futility of resistance. Only your species seems uniquely disposed toward self-destruction." Santos felt a chill run down her spine, but beside her, General Clark was smiling grimly. She'd seen that expression before, during the border wars of 2157. It was the look of a predator recognizing prey that had just revealed a critical weakness. "You've made an error in your assessment," Clark said, rising slowly to his feet. "You assume that our warlike nature is a flaw to be corrected? What if it's actually our greatest strength?" The alien ambassador's crystalline form shifted, colors dancing across its surface in patterns that suggested confusion. "Explain." "You've conquered 17 peaceful species," Clark continued, his voice carrying the authority of someone who'd spent 40 years studying warfare. "Species that thought rationally, that calculated odds, that surrendered when faced with superior force. But you've never faced anything like us before." Santos understood where this was heading and felt her heart rate accelerate. They'd discussed this possibility in classified sessions, but she'd hoped it wouldn't come to this. "We humans have a saying," Clark continued. "The enemy gets a vote. You've spent centuries perfecting the art of overwhelming peaceful civilizations, but you've never learned to fight someone who fights back, someone who doesn't surrender when the odds are against them, someone who gets stronger when cornered." Catherall's form flickered more rapidly now. "Your mathematics are flawed. Our fleet consists of—" "Your fleet," Clark interrupted, "is designed to intimidate, not to fight. Your weapons are built for destroying infrastructure, not combating an enemy that adapts. You've grown soft, Ambassador. Peace through strength only works when you remember that strength means being ready for war. The alien delegation exchanged rapid bursts of harmonic communication. When Kethrall spoke again, its voice carried a note of uncertainty. You would condemn your entire species to extinction for the sake of pride? Santos stood, her decision crystallizing. Not pride, Ambassador. Freedom. You offer us peace at the cost of everything that makes us human. Our conflicts, our struggles, our refusal to accept easy answers, these aren't flaws. They're what forged us into survivors. You speak of survival, Kethrall said, yet you choose war against impossible odds. General Clark stepped forward, and for the first time since the aliens arrived, he was grinning. That's where you're wrong. These aren't impossible odds. These are the only odds we've ever known. As if on cue, alerts began flashing on communication devices throughout the assembly. Santos glanced at her tablet and felt a surge of fierce pride. Around the globe, military installations were going active. The Pacific Fleet was moving to engagement positions. Orbital defense platforms were coming online. Humanity's greatest minds were already working on countermeasures for alien technology. You see, Santos addressed the increasingly agitated Zephyrian delegation, you made the same mistake every bully in history has made. You assumed that because we wanted peace, we weren't prepared for war. Admiral Chen's voice crackled through the communication system. All stations report ready, Madam Secretary General. Earth Defense Force, standing by. Kethrall's form pulsed with angry reds and oranges. This is madness. You cannot possibly win, Clark finished. Maybe not, but we'll make sure you remember us. Every ship you lose, every battle you fight, every soldier who doesn't come home. You'll remember that humanity taught you something your 17 peaceful conquests never could. Sometimes the price of peace is too high to pay. Santos looked directly at the alien ambassador. You offered us peace on your terms. We decline. If you want Earth, you'll have to take it. And we promise you this. It won't be easy, it won't be clean, and it won't be quick. We've been fighting each other for thousands of years, learning every dirty trick, every desperate strategy, every way to turn weakness into strength. You are condemning your species, Kethrall began. No, Santos interrupted. We're saving it. Because what you call peace, we call surrender. And humans don't surrender. We adapt, we endure, and we fight back. That's what makes us human. The Zephyrian delegation dissolved into cascading light, their forms disappearing as they retreated to their ships. Within hours, the first shots would be fired in a war unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. As alarms blared and humanity prepared for its greatest battle, Santos allowed herself a moment of quiet satisfaction. The aliens had offered them peace through submission. Instead, humanity would teach the galaxy what they should have learned from those 17 dead civilizations. Never offer ultimatums to a species that thrives on impossible odds. The war for human freedom had begun.